Welcome back to the channel. 1000K Sharing Channel is a multi-information channel. You can find a story, a lesson, entertainment or mystery discovery, or a news or event that just happened, etc. Therefore, we hope you will find a lot of useful information when watching this channel. Singapore, from fishing village to millionaire nation. An economic legend, Chapter 1, starting from zero on. August 9, 1965, when the loudspeakers blared in the sweltering heat of downtown Singapore, the people understood that a new era had opened. This small country, after separating from the Federation of Malaysia, officially became independent, but an unwanted, anxious independence. Singapore at that time was just a small piece of land, less than 720 kilometers wide, with a population of 1.9 million people, living crowded in squalid slums. The unemployment rate was over 14%. The GDP per capita was only 516 USD, equal to the poorest countries in Africa at that time. In a tearful speech, the first Prime Minister, Kuan Yew, admitted, "We are a poor people. We need to work harder, smarter, and more united than anyone else to survive. Without resources, without a strong military, without international backing, Singapore had only one thing: its people." Chapter 2. Building from education and iron discipline. From the very beginning, Mr. Kuan Yew determined, if you want to be rich, you must educate the people. Hundreds of schools were built in just 5 years. The government applied a bilingual education system, English as the main language of instruction, while maintaining the mother tongue, Chinese, Malay, Tamil. This was a genius move, because English later turned Singaporeans into global citizens. The story of Ms. Lim Siu Chu vividly illustrates the importance of education. Born into a poor working-class family, her parents worked as shipyard workers. Every day, Lim walked 5 kilometers to school. She studied diligently under the light of a kerosene lamp. In 1979, she won a full scholarship to go to the UK. More than 30 years later, Lim became the regional director of Southeast Asia for a multinational company owning assets of more than 8 million SGD. Lim's story was a common story of thousands of Singaporeans at that time, escaping poverty through knowledge. Chapter 3. Rapid Development. From 1965 to 1980, Singapore pursued a policy of emergency industrialization. The government actively invited multinational corporations such as Shell, ExxonMobil, HP, Sony, to set up manufacturing plants. The Jurong Industrial Estate, previously a desolate swamp, was rapidly leveled into a modern industrial estate of 32 kilometers. In just 10 years, GDP grew by an average of 9% per year. Exports increased 5 times. Average income increased from 516 USD to 2,500 USD. Mr. Ong Boon Tat, one of the first engineers of the Jurong Industrial Estate, recalled, "We worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. There were no days off. The only goal, to build a new nation. That no complaining, just action spirit created the Singapore miracle." Chapter 4. The CPF model and the housing dream. Along with industrialization, the Singapore government created the Central Provident Fund (CPF) system. How does the CPF work? Each citizen contributes a portion of their monthly salary, 20%, to the CPF. Employers contribute an additional 17%. This money is used to buy houses, pay medical bills, and save for retirement. Starting with the CPF policy program, more than 90% of Singaporeans own their own homes after only 30 years. The story of Ms. Tana Lian is a testament to this. In 1975, with her CPF savings, she bought a small HDB flat for SGD 20,000. By 2023, the flat was worth SGD 600,000, an investment that has yielded 30 times the original purchase price. Thanks to real estate, Ms. Tan, a garment worker with no college degree, became a millionaire in her old age. Chapter 5. Reforms for Global Integration. Not only internal strength, Singapore also strongly opens up to the world. Since the early 1990s, corporate tax has been reduced to only 17%. No inheritance tax, property tax, or capital gains tax. Business registration procedures take only 24 hours. Results: more than 7,000 multinational companies are headquartered in Singapore, 2023. Major banks such as HSBC, Standard Chartered, and Goldman Sachs have opened many branches. Singapore has become the fourth largest financial center in the world, after New York, London, and Hong Kong. Mr. Adrian Lim, founder of investment fund Temasek Holdings, recalls, "Singapore used to have to beg for every penny of investment. Now, the whole world comes to Singapore to deposit money, open companies, and invest in technology." Chapter 6. Millionaire Boom and the New Middle Class. According to the Henley & Partners report in 2023, Singapore has 333,000 millionaires. The millionaire-to-population ratio is 6.1%, the fifth highest in the world. Every day, on average, 10 new millionaires are created. But Singapore millionaires are not just Wall Street tycoons. They are teachers, engineers, small restaurant owners, IT staff, people who have spent 30 years working, saving, and investing wisely. The story of Rajesh Kumar is typical of that middle-class millionaire. As an IT engineer, Rajesh worked at Accenture. For 15 years, he invested 2,000 SGD every month in the S&P 500 Index ETF. After 15 years, thanks to compound interest, he accumulated more than 1.2 million SGD. In 2022, at the age of 38, Rajesh officially retired early, fulfilling his dream of traveling around the world with his wife. Chapter 7. Challenges ahead. However, Singapore also faces challenges. Sky-high housing prices. The average price of a new apartment in the city center is expected to reach SGD $2 million. High cost of living. Singapore is among the top 5 most expensive cities in the world in 2023. Global competition. Cities such as Dubai, Hong Kong, Shanghai are hot on its heels. The Singapore government is working to promote digital transformation and a green economy. Construction of Changi Airport T5, doubling its current capacity. Development of the new Jurong Lake District Financial District. As current Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong once stressed, we can never be complacent. Today's success does not guarantee tomorrow's success. Conclusion. Lessons from a miracle. Singapore has demonstrated a simple truth. A nation is not determined by its natural resources, but by the will and intelligence of its people. From the mud of the sea, Singapore has risen to become a global model of governance, education, and economic development. That miracle story continues to be written every day by millions of ordinary but extraordinary Singaporeans.